Alright, so today we have the second day of section 1.4, evaluating trig functions exactly. So today we're going to look at converting decimal degrees to degrees, minutes, seconds, converting degrees, minutes, seconds back to decimal degrees, and then how to put both of those in your calculator. So decimal degrees, this is what you most commonly will see. It's very rare to put things in degrees, minutes, second. Degrees, minutes, seconds you'll actually see a lot in like nautical terms. But for the most part, whenever you put these things in a calculator, you see things like this, where it's a decimal degree. If you ever see something like this, which is, you can see on an ACT or something like that, this is kind of like a trying to trick you type question. This is degrees, minutes, seconds. So the degrees is your whole number here, the degree symbol. The middle number, that's your minutes, it has the apostrophe, and then 30 here is your seconds, and the quotes are your second symbol. Now here, one thing to keep in mind, degrees, minutes, seconds works the same as hours, minutes, seconds as far as conversion goes. And so there's going to be 60 seconds, 60 seconds into a minute, 60 minutes into a degree. Just like if this was 60 seconds into 1 minute, 60 minutes into 1 hour. The exact same idea. So let's work on converting together here. So we'll do the first one together and I'll have you do the second one on your own. So the first part is we want to separate our whole number from the decimal portion, because if we're converting this to degrees, minutes, seconds, the whole number of the degrees stays a whole number in degrees, minutes, seconds. So you just leave it off until the end. So we're going to have it 27 degrees at the very end down here. Now, next step, I want to convert 8.893 to minutes. So how many minutes are in an hour, or in this case, degree? Hopefully you say 60. So we're going to take 0.893, multiply that by 60, and that gives us how many minutes we have, which in this instance comes out to equal, oops, I didn't, what did I do? Oh, I did divide it. Oops, hold on a second, guys. 3 times 60, there we go. So you end up with 53.58. Now, if you go back and look at your notes from a second ago, what you'll notice is that we don't have any decimals in minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the whole number, which is 53, and I'm going to cut off the decimal part here, and I'm going to convert that to seconds. So I'm going to take my 0.58, and again, to go from minutes to seconds, I will be multiplying by 60. So I'm taking 0.58 times 60, and I get 34.8. Now, since we don't have any units that are smaller than seconds, we're just going to round this value, so that becomes 35 seconds. So, in the end, we see that 27.893 degrees equals 27 degrees, 53 minutes, 35 seconds. Go ahead and try the second one on your own. We'll check tomorrow, see if you can come up with the right solution. Alright, so now we're converting back. So when you convert back, what we're going to do is we're going to convert each individual part back to degrees, or hours. So in this case, there are 3,600 seconds in an hour. So we're going to take 32 divided by 3,600. You get a really small decimal, 0.0089, we'll say 0089. Now we have to convert the 17 minutes back to hours or degrees, so that's 60 minutes in an hour. So we take 17 divided by 60, and you get 2833, so 0.2833. Now we add those together. Oops, and I did that wrong, of course. 3 plus 0.0089. So you get 0.293. Oops. 22, not 3. 22. Then the whole number, degrees, stays the same, just like you did before. So that's 64.2922. Go ahead and I want you to try this last example here on your own. Alright, last but not least, we're adding and subtracting. So when you add or subtract, you're going to have to do this kind of like old school division where you lined everything up in columns and add away. So here, here's your columns that you're adding up in. So if we add these 36 and 15, gives me 51. 21 and 43 gives me 64. And then 35 and 17 is 40, 52. Now, one thing you'll notice is my answer is not really simplified because technically I can simplify that value. One of the biggest mistakes here is when you take one over the next column, it's 60 minutes that equal a degree. So when you have to take a 60 away from this, which would leave you with just 4. So your final answer is 53 degrees, 4 minutes, and 51 seconds. Now I want you to try the subtraction one on your own. Now when it says you're taking this away from that, that means it's going to be set up as 83 degrees, 14 minutes, and 0 seconds, minus 59 degrees, 0 minutes, 8 seconds. Now, I will give you a hint with that one. There is going to have to be some borrowing, just like what you would have to do when you first learned to add or subtract when you were little. That concludes today's notes. Hope it makes sense. See you guys tomorrow.